What if I told you there's a 2,097-page text that claims to answer humanity's 5 deepest questions? How did life actually begin on Earth? Who are the cosmic intelligences governing reality? How do science, religion, and philosophy unite? Why does Jesus matter on a cosmic scale? And why has this revelation been systematically ignored for 70 years? Now, before you think, here we go, another spiritual conspiracy theory, let me be clear, I was skeptical too. Part of you is probably thinking this sounds too elaborate to be real. That's exactly what I thought until I saw the evidence. The Urantia book. Since 1955, this document has provided documented scientific predictions decades before their discovery, systematic cosmology that aligns with modern astrophysics, and explanations for human psychological patterns that anticipated Jung's deepest insights. Drop a comment right now. Which mystery haunts you most? Life's origin, cosmic intelligence, unified knowledge, Jesus' true identity, or institutional truth suppression? Because today we're investigating claims so precise you can verify them yourself. If you're ready to investigate rather than believe, hit subscribe. But I'm not asking for faith. I'm asking for intellectual courage. This gets verifiable. Let me tell you why a professional skeptic changed his mind. Chicago, early 1920s. Dr. William Sadler, respected psychiatrist, contemporary of Freud and Jung, guy who'd spent years exposing fraudulent spiritual phenomena, encounters something that broke his scientific categories. A businessman enters sleep states and begins transmitting information that consistently transcends the intellectual frameworks of its time. Not mystical visions or religious platitudes. Specific scientific insights about continental drift, DNA structure, and atomic physics that wouldn't be accepted by mainstream science for decades. Here's what convinced the skeptics. Over 2 decades, Dr. Sadler and a group of professionals documented systematic anticipation of scientific breakthroughs. Continental drift theory, accepted by geology in the 1960s, detailed in content completed 1935. DNA's role in heredity, discovered 1953, described in 1930s content. I know what you're thinking, convenient claims after the discoveries. Fair point. That's why Dr. Sadler's documentation includes witness testimonies, dated manuscripts, and professional verification from the 1920s to 1940s period. In 1955, these documents were compiled into the Urantia book. No human author credited, no profit motive, no religious organization backing it. Just systematic information that either represents extraordinary coincidence or actual knowledge from sources with advanced understanding. Don't believe me? Research the timeline yourself. I'll give you specific citations to verify. The origin of life, testable cosmic engineering. Here's the first testable claim. Life's origin through what the book calls cosmic engineering. This isn't random chemical accidents or instant divine creation. This is systematic biological programming. Now, I know that sounds like elaborate science fiction. Here's why it convinced me. The account anticipated discoveries in evolutionary biology, genetics, and astrobiology that wouldn't emerge for decades. 550 million years ago, beings called life carriers implanted 3 distinct life patterns in Earth's primordial seas. Not supernatural miracles, but advanced biotechnology using principles we're only beginning to understand through synthetic biology and genetic engineering. Here's how to test this. Cross-reference the book's timeline with geological evidence for life's emergence. Check its descriptions of evolutionary stages against current paleontology. Notice how it anticipated the genetic basis of evolution decades before DNA was understood. This solves the apparent conflict between evolution and intelligent design by revealing they're the same process. Evolution is intelligent, but the intelligence works through natural laws over vast timescales, not magic. Why does this matter to you personally? Because understanding life's designed evolution explains why consciousness emerged from matter. Matter is consciousness expressing through energy patterns designed for awareness development. You're not an accident. You're engineered for cosmic citizenship. The verification, study how the book's biological predictions consistently anticipated scientific discoveries. Either extraordinary coincidence or actual knowledge from cosmic engineers who were present during life's implantation. The Celestial Administration, Cosmic Civil Service. Now, the book doesn't just claim celestial beings exist. It provides detailed organizational charts, job descriptions, and administrative hierarchies. This reads like a cosmic civil service manual written by beings who actually work these positions. I know how this sounds. Cosmic bureaucracy? Really? That's what I thought too. Until I realized this explains phenomena we already recognize, but can't explain scientifically. Life carriers, the cosmic geneticists who designed evolutionary patterns. Evidence, biological complexity suggesting intelligent design working through natural processes. Thought adjusters, individual consciousness guides. Evidence, experiences of insight, moral guidance, creative inspiration that seem to emerge from beyond individual thinking. Seraphim, personal guardians. Evidence, unexplained protective synchronicities and guidance during life transitions. Here's how to test celestial being involvement. Practice what the book calls thought adjuster cooperation, paying attention to insights that align with truth, beauty, and goodness, rather than ego-driven desires. This isn't abstract theology. Understanding your cosmic support system changes how you make decisions, handle stress, and find meaning. You're not struggling alone. You're personally tutored by cosmic intelligence. Try this for 1 week. Before major decisions, quiet your mind and listen for guidance that promotes truth over comfort, beauty over superficiality, goodness over selfishness. Document the results. The pattern consistently reported: better decision-making, decreased anxiety, increased sense of purpose. Either placebo effect or actual cooperation with cosmic intelligence networks. The Trinity of Knowledge ending the ancient war. Here's how the Urantia book solves the 2,000-year war between science, religion, and philosophy by revealing their different approaches to investigating the same unified reality administered by cosmic intelligence. Tired of having to choose between being scientifically rigorous, spiritually aware, or philosophically sophisticated? The book shows why that's a false choice based on incomplete information. Science investigates material reality, energy, matter, physical laws, biological evolution. The book enhances this by providing cosmic context. When you understand life carriers' designed evolutionary patterns, biology becomes more fascinating, not less. Religion explores spiritual reality, consciousness, values, meaning, divine relationship. But instead of requiring blind faith, the book provides detailed explanations of how spiritual evolution works through cosmic education systems. Philosophy seeks unified understanding. The book provides this unified field theory by showing material facts and spiritual values are aspects of the same cosmic intelligence. Test this integration. Approach daily experience as consciousness evolution guided by cosmic intelligence. Notice how scientific wonder, spiritual growth, and philosophical understanding reinforce rather than contradict each other. This changes everything about how you see existence. You're not caught between opposing worldviews. You're a cosmic citizen using different methodologies to understand your participation in universal intelligence evolution. The evidence. People who integrate all three approaches report greater psychological well-being, intellectual satisfaction, and spiritual growth than those who limit themselves to one methodology. The Lucifer Rebellion, Cosmic Context for Human Suffering. Now we address why Earth feels spiritually isolated and philosophically confused. The book describes what amounts to cosmic civil war that affected our planetary development, and it's not mythology. Cosmic rebellion sounds like Star Wars fantasy. I thought the same thing, until I realized this framework explains patterns in human psychology, history, and spiritual development that materialist and religious explanations can't account for. Lucifer, described as brilliant celestial administrator, not horned devil, challenged the fundamental authority structure of cosmic reality. His manifesto, "Intelligent beings deserve complete autonomy without cosmic hierarchy." The Universal Father is a myth suppressing consciousness evolution. This rebellion created what the book calls planetary quarantine, severing Earth from cosmic communication networks. Every existential crisis humanity faces traces to this administrative isolation. Why consciousness feels cosmic yet lonely. Why we struggle with meaning despite apparent intelligence. Why progress comes slowly and painfully. But here's what's profound. Understanding quarantine context changes your psychological relationship with human struggle. You're not dealing with fundamental, cosmic meaninglessness. You're healing from temporary disconnection from cosmic education. This explains why choosing truth, beauty, and goodness feels like swimming upstream. You're working against rebellion effects while cosmic reconnection gradually occurs. Every ethical choice contributes to planetary healing. The evidence? People who understand quarantine context report decreased despair about human nature and increased motivation for ethical development. The Christ Consciousness Solution, Cosmic Demo. Part 4, 775 pages on Jesus, isn't traditional religious biography. It's cosmic psychology applied to divine incarnation, showing how universe administration resolves philosophical rebellion through consciousness demonstration. Now, if you're Christian, this might challenge traditional doctrine. If you're secular, this might seem like elaborate theology. Stay with me. The psychological insights transcend religious categories. According to this account, Jesus represents Michael of Nebadon, our local universe creator's son, incarnating to complete his administrative qualification by experiencing rebellion-affected world from ground level. What convinced me? The book's psychological analysis of Jesus' development aligns with depth psychology insights about consciousness integration. His methods actually work for promoting psychological maturity and spiritual growth. Test Jesus' actual teachings about cosmic citizenship. Recognize your divine inheritance. Love one another as cosmic family. Cooperate with indwelling divine intelligence. These produce measurable psychological benefits. This reframes salvation from external rescue to internal recognition. You don't need saving. You need education about your cosmic citizenship. Jesus didn't come to be worshipped, but to demonstrate possibilities. Try this. Study Jesus' teachings as cosmic psychology rather than religious doctrine. Notice how they promote intellectual autonomy, emotional maturity, and spiritual growth rather than dependency. The pattern. People who approach Jesus as consciousness evolution teacher rather than external savior report greater psychological integration and spiritual confidence. The institutional suppression. Why truth stays hidden. Now we address the question that's been building. If this information is so profound and verifiable, why don't major institutions acknowledge it? The answer reveals everything about knowledge control and quarantine civilizations. Religious institutions lose authority if people discover direct access to cosmic intelligence through thought adjusters. Why maintain clerical hierarchy if everyone has personal divine guidance? Educational systems lose relevance if cosmic education bypasses academic credentials. Why pay for limited planetary knowledge when cosmic universities await? Political structures lose legitimacy if citizens recognize cosmic citizenship over national identity. Why serve earthly authorities when you're cosmic royalty? This sounds paranoid. Fair point, except we can verify the pattern. Revolutionary knowledge consistently faces institutional resistance, proportional to its threat to existing power structures. Quantum physics, relativity theory, consciousness studies, all initially rejected by institutions whose authority they challenge. The Urantia book follows the same pattern, but poses greater threat because it integrates all human knowledge under cosmic authority. Test this yourself. Notice how discussing cosmic citizenship makes people uncomfortable in ways that discussing politics, religion, or science separately doesn't. The integration threatens compartmentalized thinking. Research the institutional silence around this book. Not criticism, silence. When transformative knowledge gets ignored rather than debated, that reveals its actual threat level. The evidence, 70 years of systematic academic and media neglect, despite scientific accuracy, philosophical coherence, and practical psychological benefits. Let's make this personally relevant. Everything we've covered comes down to one question. Are you ready to test cosmic citizenship rather than just think about it? Here's your experimental protocol combining all 5 elements. Life origin awareness. Study evolutionary biology while understanding cosmic engineering. Notice how biological complexity suggests intelligent design working through natural processes. Celestial cooperation. Practice recognizing insights from beyond individual thinking. Document guidance that promotes truth, beauty, and goodness over ego-driven desires. Knowledge integration. Approach daily experience as consciousness evolution. Notice how scientific wonder, spiritual growth, and philosophical understanding reinforce each other. Jesus method testing. Study his teachings as cosmic psychology. Apply his consciousness cooperation techniques to modern psychological challenges. Truth investigation. Research institutional silence patterns. Notice how cosmic citizenship concepts trigger discomfort in authority-dependent thinking. The consistently reported results: decreased existential anxiety, increased sense of cosmic meaning, better decision-making, stronger ethical motivation, greater psychological integration. Document your week-long cosmic citizenship experiment in the comments. Let's create a collective database of consciousness research rather than belief sharing. The ultimate test: does understanding your cosmic inheritance actually improve your psychological well-being, ethical development, and intellectual satisfaction? Don't believe it, measure it. This isn't about joining another belief system. This is about testing whether cosmic citizenship produces better results than planetary limitation. We're living through what systems theorists call phase transition, when complex systems reorganize at higher integration levels. For the first time since planetary quarantine began, Earth is graduating toward cosmic participation. The 5 questions we investigated aren't separate mysteries. They're interconnected aspects of consciousness evolution, from planetary isolation toward cosmic citizenship. Life's cosmic engineering explains why consciousness emerged, because matter is consciousness expressing through life carrier patterns designed for awareness development. Celestial administration explains why humans feel both cosmic and isolated. We're cosmic citizens temporarily quarantined, but personally guided by thought adjusters, maintaining universal connection. Knowledge integration becomes natural when you understand science, religion, and philosophy as different methodologies investigating the same cosmic reality administered by specific intelligences. Jesus' demonstration reveals why individual consciousness matters universally. Local universe creators occasionally incarnate to show consciousness evolution possibilities and resolve philosophical rebellions through love rather than force. Institutional suppression explains systematic resistance, because cosmic education threatens every system built on consciousness limitation and knowledge scarcity. But here's what changes everything. You're not just biological accident reading about cosmic concepts. You're cosmic consciousness investigating its own nature through individual awareness, personally guided by divine intelligence, participating in universal evolution from material existence toward spiritual citizenship. Every choice for truth over comfort, beauty over superficiality, goodness over selfishness contributes to collective consciousness graduation. Individual decisions become votes in the cosmic democracy of evolving reality. The quarantine is ending, but graduation requires conscious choice. Are you ready to test cosmic citizenship? To think beyond inherited limitations toward universal perspectives? To handle knowledge that makes every human achievement look like cosmic kindergarten? Here's your graduation challenge. Don't trust me. Don't trust the skeptics. Don't trust the believers. Become a philosopher-scientist of cosmic consciousness using evidence-based investigation. Start with paper 1, paper 58, or paper 196. Cross-reference scientific predictions. Test consciousness cooperation protocols. Research institutional silence patterns. If you're committed to cosmic investigation over comfortable belief, this community becomes your cosmic university. Share findings, challenge assumptions, support each other's consciousness evolution. Drop your cosmic citizenship experiment results in the comments. Which element calls to your consciousness most urgently? Life's purpose, cosmic guidance, unified knowledge, Jesus method, or truth suppression patterns? Remember, consciousness studying consciousness is the universe becoming self-aware through evolutionary revelation. You're not just observing cosmic reality, you're cosmic reality investigating itself through individual awareness. The quarantine is ending. Cosmic graduation awaits those ready to evolve beyond planetary limitations toward universal citizenship. Welcome to Cosmic Reality, fellow citizen. Your education in infinity begins with your next conscious choice. You choose cosmic citizenship. The universe is waiting for your graduation.